Hey y'all, I want to take the opportunity to introduce y'all to somebody today. A couple guys whose names are familiar around these parts, around South Louisiana, and throughout the rest of Louisiana, as a matter of fact. And even if you may not know them by their names, you probably know somebody who's very similar to them, somebody who's got very similar characteristics, no matter what part of the country you're from or what part of the world. You probably have some good friends. Matter of fact, maybe even a cousin or an uncle or somebody who's real close to this. These guys' names are Boudreaux and Thibodaux. All right, and those are French names, and they're very common names down here. And you'll hear various stories about them. I've got plenty, and of course the internet has plenty more. But the one that I always like to share is the story of the night that Boudreaux couldn't sleep. All right, so Boudreaux's tossing and turning so bad that he makes his wife Clotilde kick him out of the bed. Well, he doesn't make her, but, she chooses to kick him out of the bed and say, you go toss and turn somewhere else or wear out your energy, whatever you got to do. Well, Boudreaux walks out of the house, not sure what to do with all his extra energy. And he hollers across the bayou to his buddy Thibodaux. Thibodaux lives back behind him across the bayou, like I said. He says, "Hey, Thibodaux, I'm still up. I can't get to sleep. You mind coming over? We'll play some Pedro or Bourré. I don't know, whichever card game it is. Depends on which bayou you come down. But anyway, would you come on over here? We'll pass a good time till we can wear ourselves out, and then we'll be ready for bed." Thibodaux, he wakes up. He comes out on his back porch and stares at Boudreaux across the bayou and says, "Well, if you're the one who can't sleep, then I don't see why I ought to go over there. Why don't you come on over, man?" Well, Boudreaux's response, "How am I going to get over there?" Thibodaux says, "Well, why don't you just swim over?" Boudreaux says, "I can't swim over. There's that big old alligator in there." All right. So Thibodaux says, "Well, if that's the case, if you don't want to swim, why don't you just cross the bridge?" Boudreaux says, "I can't cross that bridge. That bridge's been out for 3 months." Thibodaux says, "Well, why don't you take a boat ride over? Ain't you got that pirogue over there?" Boudreaux says, "I can't row that pirogue. That pirogue's got a big old hole in it. And then, worse than that, I lost my oars." All right. So Thibodaux says, "If you can't swim, you can't take a bridge, and you can't take a boat. All right, hold on, I got an idea." Thibodaux runs inside, comes back outside with a flashlight. And he shines a flashlight from one bank of the bayou to the other. Boudreaux says, "What am I supposed to do with that?" Thibodaux says, "It's simple. All you got to do, I'm shining from my bank to your bank. You just walk across the beam, and you'll be over here in no time." Boudreaux says, "What you talking about, man? I know better than that. I know halfway across you're going to turn that thing off on me." So, what happens there? Boudreaux, believe it or not, understands risk assessment. All right? First of all, can you swim across? No, there's a hazard there. Okay? So we have to assess, or we have to analyze that risk. Can we get rid of the risk? Can we engineer it out? No, can he cross the bridge? Well, no, can't cross the bridge because the bridge is out. Can we separate the user? No, we can't separate the user. We can't get the boat across. Boat's got a hole in it, so that's not going to separate me from the hazard of the bayou. Can you walk across on the beam? Well, that's your personal protective equipment. That's your last line of work, and he knows that he doesn't trust that personal protective equipment coming from his buddy Thibodaux, because he knows buddy Thibodaux would just like to go inside and get back to sleep. So, in your risk management, can you eliminate the hazard? Can you separate yourself, mechanically, physically separate yourself from the hazard? And last of all, can you protect yourself from that hazard? If nothing else will work. All right? That's been your quick safety minute. This is probably the quickest video I've done, and maybe the quickest I do for a while. But don't you worry. There's plenty more things that Boudreaux and Thibodaux and sometimes their buddy Fontenot or whoever else might end up being. So enjoy that, all right?